Hi, my name's Dave, I'm also known as Infected Flinch, and second video of the day. So, game behind me is Micromaniacs. This is the one I actually talked about, and it had the weird Germany kind of thing going off. I've only just put it on the first time, so it's doing some weird shit behind me. We're gonna have to play that one, I think. So anyway, this is to my good mate Novabug. He's a top lad. He's excellent, and he's got to 200 subscribers. I don't know how he hasn't really got there sooner. Go check that bitch out. He is great. I did actually do an interview with him as well, so do check that out as well. But he has given me, and I have to keep looking down here because I've got it on my phone. But I've actually got 11. Yeah, because it was Spinal Tap. I knew what it was. So, yeah, it was 11 questions. So if I keep looking down here, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to read them and then I'll answer them. So, let's get on with it. So, number 1. If you could go back in time and change one design aspect from one of your favourite consoles/systems, what would it be? The change must adhere to the technology of the time. The machine was made. No cheating. Well, it'd be this. I know you probably can't see it properly, but it'd be the CDI, and there'd be a couple of changes I'd make to it. One is I'd actually make it have a pad right from the off, an actual pad that was integrated into it, because that fucking remote is an absolute nightmare to deal with, and it's been in that ever since like day one, so that would go. And the fact I'd actually make it, oh, it's got languages! Oh, wow, I didn't realise that was going to be the case. Sorry, that's the first time I've seen that. And also, sorry, going back to the original question, I would actually make it have proper games on it, probably. So that's not really an answer, but it's best I can give it, to be fair. So sorry, I keep looking at that and it's just like freaking me out because it's a German copy. Sorry, everyone. What is your favourite kind of glass? Pint glass. What more can you say? Console Geddon. Which console system would you save from extinction? All other systems and their games will have never existed. Which one do you pick? No emulation allowed either, so nah. So if you pick a PC, only PC games will be available. Right, well, in fairness, it's not my overall favourite console, but I would actually save the PS1. Purely because of the fact that it had so many great games on it, and it had a plethora of titles I never got to see. Because so many people made stuff for it, and it was like just... it was the frontier to it, wasn't it, really? So I would take that one and keep that. The PS2 was great as well, but I'd keep the PS1 because there were more memories there that I loved. And sorry, it's proper freaking me out saying that. Right, anyway, next one. But yeah, it'd be the PS1. PS1. Who would you like to be in the film Labyrinth? And if you haven't watched it, explain why. Now, I get mixed up with this between Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, and if it is the one I think it is, because I'm doing these off the cuff, if it's the one with Bowie in, I'd be Bowie with his big fucking crotch pouch. That's what it's like whenever you see it. There's everything else going off and it's just like fucking... Do you know what? It's been years since I last watched it, but I remember some great memories from it, so yeah, I would probably go with that. What is your favourite video game media / format and why? Do you know what? It would probably be these guys at the moment. I just think it's great, the Hue card. I just think it's an interesting little piece of history that they've decided to do it. The Master System did the same thing with their cards, and I've not got any of them. I would love some of them. If anybody's got any of them and would like to trade with me with one of those, let me know, because I've always wanted one of those. Really have. But yeah, let's go on to the next one. Which science fiction spacecraft would you like to be real and exist in our time? Moya from Farscape, the living being kiss. Why not? It's an awesome idea. A Leviathan, a giant ship that talks, and it has that pilot. The pilot is awesome with his little hands. So Moya from Farscape, most definitely. What video game is your guilty pleasure? Well, that's an interesting one. It probably would have been SimCity back in the day. I always liked that one, and I don't know why. And The Sims. I used to like The Sims, but I don't as much now. Yeah, I'll go with SimCity. With that one. Do you think you act your age? Yes and no. I'm quite sensible where it comes to money because I'm a bit tight with money. But I'm really immature in others. Like, I won't eat certain vegetables because that's something I've always done since I was a kid, and I still do that now because I'm an idiot. But yeah, I don't know. Some ways I do, some ways I don't. I can be stubborn as fuck if I want to be, and I'll just be like, no, thank you, and I'll just not play. So I can be both ways, really. For the age of 28. Should be really growing up and having kids and shit, but I just don't want to do that right now. I'm having too much fun with my missus, so no. Who to you is the most annoying, tedious, arseache goody video game character? Mario. I can't fucking stand him. I really can't sometimes. He just gets on my nerves. I prefer Wario and Waluigi, and I always have liked the bad guys more than the good guys. I always have done. But yeah, Mario. And actually most Nintendo characters like Zelda and Link, and they just get on my tits. They do. They just do. I like Nintendo games, but I just think the characters themselves get on my wick. They do. They really do. But yeah, that's why. Anyway, next one. What game has your favourite original soundtrack? This does not include games with commercial music. Oh, Nova, you bastard. Because I am quite an aficionado of like game soundtracks anyway, but there's a lot of games with great soundtracks. Actual proper scores and stuff like that. Like the Mass Effect series, that's got some great soundtracks there. Deus Ex, Human Revolution, that's got a brilliant soundtrack. But what my all-time favourite... Do you know what? I am actually going to come back to that because I might actually make my own video on that, because I've already done one about my, all-time favourite songs in games, but I don't know what my all-time favourite one is. I can't actually tell you that because I don't actually know it off the top of my head, but I can tell you bits and pieces of certain soundtracks I adore. Like Gears of War. I know Gears of War gets a bad rap, but that's got a great soundtrack. What else? The Discworld games, they've got brilliant soundtracks. I love them. The Darkness, that had an awesome soundtrack. That was awesome. What else have we got? Command and Conquer and Command and Conquer Red Alert, they had some awesome soundtracks. There's too many for me to name, Nova. I can't just pick one, but I'm going to have to think that through. Quake and Quake 2, they had awesome soundtracks. Do you know what I mean? There's just far too many for me to pick. Daytona, I mean, as corny as that was, Sega Rally had a great one. The original Sonic and Sonic 2, they had brilliant soundtrack. Oh, bastard. I can't think of any. I'm going to have to come back to that, and I'm actually probably going to make a video on it. So yeah, anyway. Second to last. What is your favourite type of weather? Do you know what? I actually like the weather where it's relatively mild, but it's going into the autumn, and it's going to be like November time. I like it when it's that kind of weather because it's got like, everything's lovely around that time. Different colours on the trees and You didn't expect an answer like that, did you? But yeah, I love that kind of time. So yeah, it's brilliant. Number 12, ask Novabug anything, keep it cleanish. No, I want to know what kind of pants you're wearing right now. No, okay. Why didn't you start YouTube sooner? There you go. You can ask the other one, well, answer the other one if you want, but anyway. That is to be good mate Nova. Bug Christopher. That guy. So yeah, he's awesome. Go check him out. I just answered 11 questions and asked him one in return. So comment, like and subscribe as you normally do. I've been Dave, you've been lovely. I'm not wearing any trousers.